This Hangout on Air is live. Hello. Welcome to episode number 160 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with us geeks on tour. Hi, everyone. I'm Jim, and here together with my wife, Chris, we are geeks on tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your iPhone or your Android tablet? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Oh, we are geeks who teach, and we usually come up with a topic to teach a lesson on for our button shows, but this time we're on vacation.
Right. Well, we're getting ready to go on vacation. We're doing a really big...
Going to here.
Australia
and New Zealand.
Yeah, I can't see New Zealand. I'm in the way.
A little bit of New Zealand.
So, yeah, we're doing the Great Barrier Reef. So we have a dive trip planned during this, but we're only going to be there for the dive trip. And then we're going to New Zealand for the main part of the expedition. We're going to be renting an RV while we're over there and traveling the North and South Islands of New Zealand. So we need technology. We're geeks, right? Everybody needs technology. So, and we're going to give you a link so you can follow our photo album.
Our photo album, yes.
While we're over there. So we hope you do that. But what do you think?
So we're mostly here just to chat today. Yeah. And we have a bunch of stuff for show and tell.
So we'll put that up there on the screen, or we'll show that.
Yeah, we're going to show you what we plan to take with us. We're going to be gone for 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And what technology we think is going to be important and what technology is not. and we're hoping for some questions too. I know we really didn't promote this or tell people we would be here.
We weren't sure we were going to do it ourselves. We have a house guest in town with us, so our regular studio is kind of out of bounds.
But I want to chat about what we are taking with us, and this is kind of for our purposes. We leave a week from today, so this is kind of our trial run too, to put everything together. Will it fit in the suitcase?
What can we get rid of? What do we have to keep? Those types of questions are things. We're kind of out of practice doing this. Year before last, we did a trip to Europe, and we just took one backpack each, a rolling backpack.
Carry on.
And we did not check anything, and we went with a minimal amount of technology. We're going to do the same thing for this trip.
We're going to try. Mm-hmm. So first, I see there are a couple people watching. Could you say whether or not you can hear us? Just
put something in the chat there. That would be great.
Yeah, we're doing this a little bit with less technology than we normally do, so we can't hear if there is sound going out.
Yeah, I bet you I could look on here.
Yeah, we can try looking on another device, but
okay. Let's get into it. Or do you want to wait until somebody says we have sound?
It's not good to keep talking if nobody can hear you.
Well, I know it sounds going out. There we go. Can hear you fine. Hey, thanks, Jeff.
In the UK. Hey, Jeff.
All right.
And
good to see you.
Okay, thanks.
All
thanks for that. So now we'll get started.
Carry on.
First of all, technology is amazing these days with how small it has gotten. I mean, we're going to be gone, as I say, for 5 weeks, and that is going to span the time that we normally would produce 2 newsletters. And I plan to do those 2 newsletters. Mm-hmm. I've done a newsletter every month for nearly 12 years now, so I don't want to miss. And we will still be paying attention to members' questions on our Q&A form and answering them. And we're certainly going to want to take lots of pictures, some video editing. And my entire office of technology is right here.
Wow.
That's it. And that's even one more than is totally necessary. A laptop, a tablet, and 2 phones. is what I'm taking.
So you have to have an iPhone and an Android for this trip.
And I'll talk about that. Why? I mean, that really is not necessary, but it is for me.
You stacked yours all so nice and neatly on your.
Well, then there's a bunch of accessories as well that are going.
Okay.
We're going to go over each one.
Now this is my pile of technology. I just put it all together, and we'll go through it individually.
But we really can put all that into a carry-on case, along with the clothes. Now, luckily, the diving that we're doing and the Great Barrier Reef out of Cairns, Australia, is with a boat called ProDive, ProDive Cairns, and they provide all of the dive equipment. So we don't have to take any of our dive equipment, except for maybe our masks.
I'm definitely taking my mask. I just got a new mask with a new prescription, and I can see clearly.
Yeah.
So I need to test it. I need to check it out tomorrow.
You need to go diving this
I need to go.
week.
So I probably will do that tomorrow.
And my mask has a correction in it, but it's just a standard. So they have masks with the standard corrections.
And all the other gear. So we should be doing 11 dives over 3 days and 2 nights. So looking forward to that. Pro Dive out of Cairns, Australia.
And that's our second stop. Our first stop is in Brisbane, where we have booked 4 nights of a hotel because we figure we are going to be wasted after nearly 24 hours of travel. It's a 17-hour nonstop flight from Houston to Sydney. So we go from Miami to Houston, Houston to Sydney, Sydney to Brisbane. And then we'll sit there for a few days.
Yeah.
Hook up with, we know, in Brisbane.
Yeah. Few people we're actually going to be seeing, people we know. But the first person, Graham, is someone who we know from our online Toastmasters. We've known him a while, but we've never met him.
Never met him.
And that's pretty cool.
But he lives in Brisbane, so we'll be doing that. All right, so we're going to start with cameras. So, Jim, what cameras are you taking?
Okay. So since we're just saying camera, the one camera that I consider a camera is my Samsung camera. It's a Galaxy Camera 2. It is basically an Android tablet with a very good lens on it. I can do things with this. It'll connect to a Wi-Fi hotspot, and it has a real good lens, so we have a good telephoto lens. That's the key for this camera.
And then show them how you're holding it.
Okay. I have this on one of those articulating gorilla tripod doohickey things, and it has a tripod connector that I can put anything on there. So that should be cool. So this is my main camera, or the only camera.
Tap on home just for them to see how that is an Android device there.
All right. So yeah, I just hit home. It has a standard.
This should look familiar to anybody with Android phones or tablets.
I don't have much on here because it doesn't have a whole.
But it means every photo he takes with this, as soon as he connects to Wi-Fi,
automatically uploaded.
Go up to his Google Photos.
Well, I should take a picture here.
But this telephoto is really good.
All right. So.
And it has a lot of features. Like one of my favorite photos from our Europe trip is a waterfall that is a nice soft, it's a timed exposure. And how did you do that?
Shoot.
And it's voice activated.
And it has a whole lot of really neat features in there in the camera app that came with it. It has the soft focus. It has some HDR, some things that most cameras can do, and some additional things. It's pretty fancy, and it has the long lens. So that's camera number 1. Camera number 2 is my Pixel XL phone. It has an excellent camera on it. The lens on this side is really, really good, and the selfie lens too. This takes wonderful videos as well. The one thing I don't like about this camera and videos, or a lot of things, it's kind of slow. And if I can't do any real zooms with the telephoto lens as a continuous zoom like you can with a lot of nicer cameras. So, but hey, it's a great camera. So yeah, I have this on a selfie stick, and the selfie stick has a shutter release, and you can see where it's wired there into the headphone jack, and all I have to do is push the button and it'll snap that way.
And what's the other little tripod that you?
This one doesn't have. Oh yeah, so I have this little tripod will also articulate and squeeze, and you can put things on there. And on this one, I put a magnet. So with this magnet on here, the phone will just stick on there. And I have a bunch of these the plates on different devices. So this will also be a selfie camera if we want it to be on this cute little tripod here.
Because you really don't carry your phone on a set. We use selfie sticks actually very seldom.
Very seldom.
But when you do need them, oh, you're so glad to have them. I remember when we went kayaking in the canals of Venice, the only way to get a picture of the two of us kayaking, it was to have the phone on a selfie stick. So you could hold it way up there and it could be looking back at you.
All right. One of the nice things about this particular tripod is I can hold it out there and get a selfie with this also. So that's that. Okay, camera number 1 on a tripod. Camera number 2 is my phone, and I can have it on a selfie stick or on a tripod or however it needs to go. And camera number 3 is the GoPro. The GoPro right now is in its underwater housing for the diving configuration, but it has a different housing or a different piece that I can put in there so that you can hear. The underwater housing keeps it. I mean, you can't. Microphone doesn't work well inside that box. So the skeleton housing that I normally use outside the box, you'd be able to hear it. But this is
now you have to have that in order to get video underwater.
Right.
But do you use it at all above water then?
I use it on my drone, but I'm not taking the drone.
No.
And I use it very little above water, but it still does. It takes wonderful shots. So if we're doing anything around the water, I would rather have this that's not going to be affected by the water, like my phone. Although her phone, it has some waterproof or water resistant capabilities. Not that phone, no.
Oh.
Okay. So and certainly not my Samsung phone.
But so you did just mention one piece of technology that you're not taking is the drone.
Right. It's well, it's another piece of luggage that I'd have to carry. It's a pretty large drone, the one that I have. I don't have one of those cute little ones.
Now, what if you had one of those?
I might very well want to take that with, but there's a lot going on. You can't do everything.
And you can't use them everywhere either.
This is true, yeah.
But I'll bet you some of the wilderness areas in New Zealand, you could use it, and that would be cool.
It would be, but
hey, can't do everything.
We'll make do with what we have.
Okay, so that's just his cameras.
Only 3.
Now for me, this is the camera that I am not taking. Okay, so
the big SLR.
Yeah. So this camera I am not taking. And I did not take it with us to Europe, and I didn't miss it. I didn't even take it with us this entire summer. Or did I? But if I had it with me in the RV,
No.
I did not use it.
No, because you would have taken pictures with it in Yellowstone, and you did not.
There are still a couple times. Now, I did take it with us to Lion Country Safari. So if you know you're going to be seeing wildlife, I think that is where these kind of cameras
you need a long lens. You want a long lens.
You need the long lens. And the one other thing that I do still think is important is the speed. Because with these, you can so quickly, you can keep it hanging around your neck, and you can just put it up to your eye, compose, and snap the button.
Very quickly.
Whereas with a phone, you're fiddle fumbling all the time.
Even if you think you're ready, you still, it'll go dark just as you're picking it up.
Right.
So there's a lot.
I'm not taking that camera.
Yeah.
Now, so my main camera will be my Samsung Note 9. And this is a brand new, so I'm looking forward. It has an outrageously good camera. It has 2 lenses on the back, so it does have a telephoto. Certainly not anything like the long lenses, but it is a 2x optical zoom, and it's a smartphone, so it has tons of. For example, it takes a couple seconds of video along with every single photo I take. So there's all sorts of cool things you can do with a picture taken with this phone that you can't with a regular camera. I'm also taking my old iPhone. It still has a great camera, and there's other reasons too, which we'll get to when we talk about phones. So
tech and connectivity.
That's it for me in cameras, though. It's just phone. Cell phone photography, smartphone photography is all I'll be doing.
We both forgot. Each one of your notebook here has 2 lenses. So we're actually doing this live stream using, but you're not taking that laptop.
I'm not taking that one, though. Yeah,
okay.
Right. So,
but I am taking my Chromebook, and it has a front lens or a rear lens and a front lens. So I can do video with this and take pictures with it. And it comes apart from its keyboard and makes a tablet. So pretty cool how all the different ways you can do it.
Well, I will be taking my iPad, and it certainly has a camera too. We might use the iPad sometimes when we want to do some live streaming video or something, because it has this nice little case, this keyboard case that makes it easy to just sit up on a table or on a bench or something.
A lot for navigation.
For I downloaded some videos to it.
Yeah.
But that comes under tablets.
Okay.
But I will not be using it as a camera because, some people think that these are better cameras than the phone. No, they really, really are not. Now, it might seem like it because when you view the photo you just took on this big screen, they look gorgeous. But if you look at a photo taken with the iPad right next to the same photo taken with a phone, you'll see the tablet photos, the tablet cameras are not as good. So, and yes, we will be taking lots of photos.
And we're going to have a shared photo album, a Google Photos album that anybody can join with. You have to have it.
Yeah, you can see we've already started it. It's, it's just a shell right now, but we have started it, and you can look at our photo out anytime by going to our blog, our personal travel blog, which is geeksontour.blogspot.com. Or you can always go to geeksontour.com. There's a menu item for blogs and news, and Jim and Chris's personal travel blog is on that menu. And then you'll see a menu for photo albums, and our Australia, New Zealand is the one on top.
That'll be fun.
Okay, next comes phones and internet. What phones are we taking, and what will we be doing for an internet connection? First, you.
Okay, well, I'm definitely taking, the only phone that I'm going to be taking is my Pixel XL, I have this really nice wallet that I put it in. So I don't even have to take a regular wallet. I'll take this. It has room for credit cards and my identification and some cash in here. This is all I used when we went to Europe year before last.
And what's the internet connection?
The internet connection on this is Project Fi. So
Google Fi now.
Oh, I keep forgetting. It's Google Fi. They changed the name, but it's still the same stuff. And it uses towers from T-Mobile and Sprint and US Cellular here in the States, but it has an international calling plan. So when we're in New Zealand and Australia, I expect it'll just work just normally. We pay $10 a gigabyte for data on this plan. And we have a couple of devices that can use this data inside the device. And then we can also make these into hotspots so that we can connect our computers or other devices that don't have SIM capabilities. They can connect to the internet.
So usually if we were to teach a session on how to get internet when you go overseas, you would normally tell people to buy a SIM card from a local provider, you know, to find the cellular provider in Sydney and buy a SIM card from them and load it with service. But we don't need to, because the Google Fi works just fine.
Yeah. Now,
hey, Bill, he found us.
Now, when we get to New Zealand and get into the RV that we're renting, we will have a hotspot as part of that. They have an option where you can get high-speed New Zealand internet hotspot in the van.
And it's about $7 a day.
Yeah. So we need to have more than one way to connect.
Right. I mean, our Google Fi connection might work fine the whole time we're in the RV, but I'm not sure. And we rented this RV from a place called Wilderness Motorhomes because of the recommendation of
the Russos.
No. Heath and Alyssa.
Heath and Alyssa, right.
Heath and Alyssa. And I put the link in our last newsletter. And they did just a great job of blogging through New Zealand. Mm-hmm. And they got this Wi-Fi in the RV option and said it worked really, really good.
So it's well worth it. So we're going for it.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
Okay.
All right. So that's your phone and your
Google
internet
Fi
connection, Google Fi. So my new phone, my Samsung Note 9, is on Verizon. And I do not expect Verizon to work over there. Now, I believe I get 2 or 3 days of their day pass for roaming, but I'm not even sure of that. And if I want more than what I get with my plan, I think it's like $10 a day. But why?
You shouldn't need it.
Why do I need that if Jim can put his Google Fi phone into hotspot mode and then I can just connect my phone to his hotspot?
And I expect we'll be using the unlimited New Zealand hotspot in the RV for the 3 weeks that we're going to be in that.
And when we're in Australia, we're going to be staying in hotels, so we expect
there'll be Wi-Fi. There is Wi-Fi on the liveaboard boat.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
There is.
Yep. I don't know how good it is, but they say there's Wi-Fi there, so we'll be trying it out.
So why am I also taking my iPhone? Well, there's a few different reasons. Number one, because we're still going to be teaching, yeah,
learning,
and answering questions on our website, and I need to be able to look and say, well, how does that work on the iPhone? But I'll have my iPad. But the main thing is the Google Fi. Now, because Jim has Google Fi, we are able to add one more line to it for just $15 a month. Mm-hmm. So for $15 a month, I mean, realize this is an old iPhone. this is an old iPhone, so it does not have, we are not paying a monthly plan to anybody, to T-Mobile or Verizon or AT&T. So it's just a dead phone that can only connect to Wi-Fi. Well, if I'm carrying this phone, I want to be able to make phone calls. So the Google Fi $15 a month SIM card can go in here, and now I have a Google Fi connection too. So I can get online, and I only pay for what I use. So if I use a gigabyte, I pay $10 on, well, he will. It's on his bill.
She'll pay.
So I really, really debated about it. I'm only taking the iPhone because that's the one that will have a connection that will work in Australia, New Zealand.
But you can't do that.
I can't do that. I have a brand new Note 9 fancy camera. I have to take that.
Absolutely.
So that's what we'll be doing. I expect that we'll have decent internet everywhere we go.
And if we don't, we don't care.
Right.
We will.
We're on vacation.
We will find it. I'm sure it's there because other people have it there. Bill asks, will you have all your devices and drives backed up before leaving? Yeah.
They always are.
Right,
Everything
Google.
we do is in the cloud.
Pretty much.
So there's really no, now what I do plan to do, and I'm going to make a little video on this. I do like, before starting a trip, I like to clear off all my photos from my devices, so that I know that all the photos that are physically on the device are the new ones just from this trip. And I do make sure that they, number one, have successfully gotten up to Google Photos, that they all have.
Yeah.
But number two, I also use Microsoft OneDrive. So I want to see that all my photos are on Microsoft OneDrive as well. Then I will use the Google Photos command, free up space to erase all the photos from the phone, so I don't have to worry about that space. But all the other stuff, I mean, emails are in Gmail, contacts are in Google Contacts. Everything that's on our phones is in an online account.
Now, I will be taking an external hard drive, a small passport type drive that plugs into the Chromebook, just for getting, if I'm going to be doing editing on the Chromebook, and I like to edit on the Chromebook because of the big screen, I will save those off to that external hard drive. But as long as they're photos, they can still be uploaded to Google Photos, so the videos will be up there.
HOOTOO, and we've done a couple of videos on it. It serves several purposes.
Router.
So when we're in a hotel, and there is either sometimes a hotel has an Ethernet cable for the internet to your room. You can plug that Ethernet cable into here and then turn this on, and it makes a little Wi-Fi hotspot that I can connect my iPad. He can connect his Chromebook. I can connect my computer. So this is a very handy.
Sometimes it can be a really good fast connection using that Ethernet in a hotel. You don't see them as much as you used to, though. Yeah.
Well, it also
because Wi-Fi is available in most places now.
Some hotels, though, Wi-Fi and say that only one device can connect to it. If that's the case, this is the device that will connect to it.
And then it in turn creates a Wi-Fi hotspot that is connected to their Wi-Fi hotspot. So we connect to this, it connects to the hotel, wherever, the public Wi-Fi, and we have a little bit extra security because it's another level of network address translation.
Okay, what else? So now we're on to tablets.
Okay.
And you're not taking a separate tablet, but you are taking,
I'm taking the Chromebook. The Chromebook is a tablet that runs all of the Play Store apps So it has Google Photos on there. It has all of the Google apps. So I use this. It does not have an internet connection. It will only connect to the internet through Wi-Fi. So, but it has a nice keyboard, a full keyboard, all of that stuff. But it also detaches from this keyboard. Let's see if I can do that without breaking too many things.
Oh.
And
so now it's a big tablet.
It's a big tablet, and I can set it up however I want. It also has a stylus.
Now I have a Chromebook also, and this is all I took with me to Europe. I think this is just such a cute little computer, but it's a Chromebook, and I did everything in Europe with this. But it's getting old. It's getting old, and I don't trust that I will be able to do everything. I've been looking for a new Chromebook, but I cannot find one that's this size, this small size.
I'm all bigger now. I don't know why you can't have one.
They seem to think that bigger is better, and I don't agree. I love this. Actually will fit in my purse, my big purse.
Yeah.
So now I am taking my iPad, and it has this cute little case that makes it like a laptop, a keyboard case, but it comes apart. So here is my iPad.
Mm-hmm.
And I will use this for entertainment. I say I've downloaded some movies from Netflix onto it, and I'll use it for viewing the photos of the day, connect it to Wi-Fi, and I'll be able to see what I've taken with my phones. And I don't know what else. And some work I can do with it. I almost considered taking just this.
Yeah, but she couldn't do that.
Well,
she could. But
some of the work, creating the newsletter and stuff.
You want a real keyboard.
Yeah. So I am taking also my old Windows 10 laptop computer, and it's fairly light, and it still works good. So I am taking we're taking one Windows computer, one Chromebook, one iPad, and 3 phones. So that's the sum total, and your Samsung camera and your GoPro camera.
Is that all? Is that enough?
I think that's it. Now there's a couple miscellaneous things.
We showed the Hutu.
Yeah, the Hutu. And then power adapters, of course.
Yeah, because they don't use the American standard over there. They use a different connector. So we have to have these adapters these are nice, though, because they also have, where'd it go? Somewhere on here, there's a USB port. It's on there. It's a spare fuse. Somewhere on here, there's a USB port. Isn't there?
Charging and data transfer cords.
The white one.
You had it.
Oh, I do? Oh, it's here. Okay. Okay, yeah. This one has... Where is it?
So, yes.
Anyway.
Charging for my Apple, well, 2 charging. This one came with the Samsung, this one came with the Apple, and charging cables, of course. And earbuds, noise canceling earbuds.
We each have a pair of those mostly for the flight, because they really do help. They knock out the sound. So yeah, those are going.
And an HDMI adapter. This, allows you to connect your phone or tablet to either VGA or HDMI. Oh, it's also by Hutu.
Yeah.
We like Hutu.
Yeah. So that has a Ethernet adapter. It has 3 standard USB ports, a C port, and an HDMI port. So all that runs off of one C connector, and that'll work on my Chromebook. Does it work on your?
On my Samsung.
Yeah.
Yes. And why are we doing that? So that when we have a big screen TV available to us, either on the boat, which they always do, or in your hotel room, we can see our photos or videos on a big screen and share them with other people that way.
Fun stuff.
Without an internet connection.
Right. Cool.
Oh, and what about apps? That'll probably be a whole other episode.
Yeah.
I'm really starting to like the TripIt app for managing all your reservations, your hotels, your flights, and Google Trips. I'm using both TripIt and Google Trips, and I'll be reporting on them later.
Charging and data transfer cords for each device. Yeah, we're going to be carrying some of the external batteries. This happens to be a high-powered Anchor extra battery. I have this special cord here that has 3 connections. One is for a iDevice. It has the Lightning connector. It has a C connector for our newer devices, both our new phones, and it has a standard micro USB adapter. So we can charge anything with this, and we'll have a couple of these batteries and have them handy so we can do our charging.
Will the different video formats be an issue in Australia and New Zealand?
Not for us.
Good question.
No, all of our stuff is in TSC. Some of the stuff over there might be PAL, but I think they have adapters, at least on the boat, for that kind of stuff. We'll find out.
That's part of why you travel, is just to see how things are different in different places.
Yeah. So if anybody knows any tricks of the trade before we leave from a week from today, tomorrow, a week
from today. Today, yeah.
It's getting.
I remember watching a show on YouTube that talked about an app of the week called a passport something that got you through the
TSA stuff?
The lines, no, the customs.
Oh.
It was a specific way to do your passport on your phone, but I think you had to do a registration. And we talked about it as an app of the week on one of our shows, but I don't think we ever actually did anything about it. So, and it might be too late now, but I have to remember and go back and find that. So apps. So any apps or devices that we've forgotten?
Probably. Clothes are going to be, well, we did it fine for a month in Europe. So I think we'll be just fine. There are places where you can wash and do laundry and that kind of stuff wherever we are. I think we'll be just fine. We do want to find out from Melinda if we should carry heavy-duty hiking boots.
if we need hiking boots. I'm planning on going with mostly sandals and maybe a pair of sneakers.
Yeah. Now, we did a lot of walking in Europe, but not any serious hiking. And apparently, well, obviously, it's going to be a lot more hiking in New Zealand.
In New Zealand, yeah. So. There's national parks. Oh,
they're gorgeous.
I'm getting excited. Okay. Let's go.
All right. I'm ready. Check us out on our webpage, geeksontour.com, and we will be.
He says, take an extra belt, shoelaces, and flip-flops. Shoelaces.
An extra belt?
That's a thought.
You can use shoelaces for a belt? All right.
It sounds like there's some stories behind that.
Flip-flops. Okay. I like that idea.
All right.
But they also have stores, I understand, and they will take credit cards, so we'll be all right. Well, until next time we see you,
Good eye, mates.
Good eye. Be careful out there. Have fun, and we'll be talking to you soon. I'm Jen.
I'm Chris.
And we're Geeks on Tour. Keep pressing those buttons and be careful which buttons you do touch.
No, just try it.
Any button will work. Okay. Let's go get some flip flops.